Sultihan ko kamo nga magugong siya dapig kanila o dalion niya ang pagbuhat niini. Apan makakaplag bakaha o pagtuo ang anak sa tao dinhi sa kalibutan sa iyang pagabot.
This was in Luon, one of the areas badly hit by the 7.2 magnitude earthquake that shook Bohol. Catholic faithful hearing Mass in an open space, the ruins in their midst. But that was 6 months ago, days after that fateful day, October 15, year 2013. Luon now has a makeshift church still being constructed to house the faithful.
One of the big challenges, dinhi siguro sa parokya karon, is to keep the people motivated. What do I mean by that? Ang simbahan, the physical structure that is the simbahan, was considered by Loonanons, especially ang mga parokyanos Our Lady of Light, as their source of strength and identity. In other words, that is the focal point sa mga tao. Now that that symbol is gone, so ang tendency sa mga tao is to fragment, no? What naman tayo point of unity? Wala naman ta ana. So asa man ta paingon karon? So mag-iyahay na lang ta, no? And I can sense anan dapita nga there's a tendency nga mag-fragment, no? But then again, that's the challenge. How to keep that communal spirit experienced by the people during the earthquake intact. Mogir dako kayo nga challenge. So it needs a lot of creativity on the part of leadership, both on the civil and the church. And yeah, unsa man ang atong ikapakita or unsa may atong himuon aron ang mga tao still do na bitay focal point, no? Mo nay dako kayo nga challenge. But for the church, that means again employing again more symbols. That is why in the midst of the difficulties na to karon, naningkamot ang maghinahinay o build og makeshift yun nga chapel, so that people inig-anid dere dili man tamingon naunsa man ang simbahan oy nga namura man ni og bodega, no? So at least naa siya resemblance of kanabang sacred place, no? A place where you can be quiet, all alone, and worship God, meet God.
The Our Lady of Light Church in Luon is considered the largest and one of the oldest, being built in the 18th century.
There's so many of them, 10 particularly because these are the declared things, and there's so many other churches. We counted them around 20 or 25 of them. And what is urgent for us is for our people to have a place immediately in order to meet the needs, the spiritual needs that they have. With regards to their approach to the transcendence, that means to say they're worship towards God. And so we are looking up to it, and we are looking for people to help us build up the old churches. Meantime, since this would take time, we are contemplating of putting up an appendage church or an alternate church, or perhaps a temporary church whereby we could house our faithful to have a more decent worship, and where they could hold their liturgical celebrations. So that is precisely now our immediate concern.
While alternative churches are being constructed, groups from the government and international organizations are putting their hands together to restore the structures.
Actually, there are three phases, no? Yung restoration of these churches that were declared as national cultural treasures and important cultural properties. Yung first phase is actually started on the first day that the earthquake hit the Visayan region, no? So we had several series of meetings with concerned agencies and of course with the Diocese of Tagbilaran. And we created the NCCA, National Commission for Culture and the Arts, Heritage Task Force, and composed of cultural agencies, the National Museum, National Historical Commission of the Philippines, National Archives, and the NCCA, plus other government agencies like DOT. So the main purpose was the rapid assessment of the effect of the earthquake. So we coordinated with several local stakeholders, no, the community, the local government units, and of course the Diocese of Tagbilaran. So yung first phase, which is a pre-restoration phase, composed of activities like securing the place, installing signages to prevent looting, recovery, clearing. Then after that is the inventory of the collection, because there are also several movable objects that should be protected. No? And after that, almost in churches, tapos na kami dun sa clearing, recovery, inventory of the objects. Then we also do some registration of cultural objects within the church. So after this, the next step will be the shoring, no? Especially yung mga walls na nag-exist, nakatayo pa, so we have to stabilize these walls. Then after that, there will be a scanning, the three-dimensional scanning of the walls, especially those churches that still standing, because this is necessary prior to the preparation of the restoration plan. No? Then after the three-dimensional scanning, we will have a DES, which is a detailed engineering studies. This is actually a part of phase 1, so we have to complete this in April. So there are several churches right now which are already prepared for scanning and for DES, like the Dimiao, Cortes Church, and other churches. But in case of Loon, Maribohok, and Lubok, we have to continue our clearing operation because there are a lot of objects to be collected and to be safeguarded. So we are supposed to finish the phase 1 by April to May, because in May, phase 2 will soon start. Phase 2 is actually the formulation of the master plan for the restoration of the churches which to be identified that can be restored. So it will be participated by all cultural agencies, to be spearheaded by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and also with the Diocese of Tagbilaran, UNESCO, ICROM, and other international organizations. So the result of this phase 2 is the creation of a master plan for the restoration. And we are hoping that this will be finished in May. That's why in June of this year, we will already have the plans for the restoration of these churches. And in August, we plan to have a stakeholders meeting with the local community so that we can present the plan for restoration. And in September, we are hoping that restoration will soon start.
Helping in the restoration is the Bohol Restoration Group, composed of US-based Filipinos and volunteers.
This is all about preserving a heritage so rich in culture, and these structures are the structures that represent a very rich heritage. So we are a non-faith-based organization, because a lot of people are saying, oh, are you Protestant, are you Catholic? And you can see here the intent of the American community in Washington, D.C. with a lot of Filipino Americans who really want to help. And they're helping professionally, looking at their expertise as architects, engineers, historical experts. And we don't have the blueprint. We want to work with, especially with the Diocese of Tagbilaran, because they are the property owners.
The Boholanos, I of course extend our greetings to them from the Filipino community in the U.S. And we tell them that we'd like to tell them that we are one with them. We are in solidarity with the Boholanos in their efforts to recover from this tragic earthquake, that we will be working together with them in trying to restore these heritage churches, and we hope to get the support not just of the Filipino community but also the American community in the U.S. To support this effort. So we are of course impressed by the resiliency of the Boholanos, their determination to rise from the ashes of this earthquake, and we want to assure them that with the grace of God and with the support of a lot of the people, both Filipinos and Americans, that they will see the restoration of these beautiful heritage churches. No?
The restoration may take years to complete, and although works are ongoing, the damaged heritage churches may never look the same again.